When the Rambam was asked about the minhag to stand when the Aseret HaDibrot are read for this week's Parsha, he expressed great concern. The Rambam said if we're to stand for the 10 Commandments, people may come to the misconception that they are the most critical part of the Torah. They're all that matters, so we stand when they're read and not when anything else is. And as such, the Rambam thought that even though this custom had a long-standing tradition in many communities throughout the world, he thought that it must be stopped. Centuries later, the Chidah responded to that Rambam, and he said that he felt the concern was not as great as the Rambam assessed. The Chidah said that even though people will stand for the Aseret HaDibrot, it's not as if that's the only part of the Torah we value. After all, even on the weeks when we read the Aseret HaDibrot, we read Chumash before them and we continue to read the Parsha after. If so, said the Chidah, clearly everyone will recognize the significance of the Aseret HaDibrot and everything else that comes along with those Parshios. This machlokas between the Rambam and the Chidah is focused primarily on the misconceptions that will result from standing for the Aseret HaDibrot. But before we get there, we have to understand why it's valuable to stand to begin with. Is this about recognizing the significance of these 10 mitzvos over others? Or maybe we can suggest an alternative. Some of the Mefarshim explain that when we stand for the Aseret HaDibrot, it's not in recognition of the Aseret HaDibrot being the 10 most important mitzvos, but it's an attempt to recreate the experience at Har Sinai, to recreate the receiving of the Torah at Mount Sinai. By standing for the Aseret HaDibrot, we don't say that these Dibros are more important. Rather, we say to ourselves that just as our forefathers stood and accepted the Torah, we have a responsibility to do the same. Have a great Shabbos.